Hey folks, here are OS Reviews. You're watching our video review of the Kehan KH903-50VP. This is an HD resolution dashboard camera with a resolution of 2560 by 1080, which provides a fair amount of detail for you to view back your images and videos with. It captures any emergency shots, so if you have a collision, it's going to automatically capture and save whatever it's been recording, but otherwise it has a continuous loop feature, which allows you to continue recording video over and over again, even if you have a very limited capacity of memory inside the dashboard cam itself. This particular unit has a 3-inch LCD display, which is pretty bright and vibrant and allows you to see it even in brighter environments. And it also has a G sensor on board in addition to an HDR night vision, which allows you to see in darker environments. There's also a 6-glass lens, which adds extra protection, also a pretty wide aperture as well. In addition, there is a motion detection sensor on board, which again, if you have an accident or if the camera records in movement in front of it, it's going to automatically save any videos permanently, so it's not going to rewrite over it in case you start using it again. The retail price for this particular dashboard cam is around $400, which is pretty expensive, but you can get it on sale at $150 on Amazon.com, and it kind of shifts around that price range. So it's relatively expensive for a dashboard cam, but then again, you do have a pretty high-end model here with GPS and also, again, an accelerometer, a 3-inch display, and all of the accessories and resolution included inside the packaging. So taking a look at the box here, you have a pretty nice presentation. There's a QR code on the side that you can scan to learn more information from the company's website, and that's about it. On the very back, you have access to information, just the dashboard camera itself. We'll take a look at that in a moment. And there is also access to the accessories inside this compartment box, and that gives you access to the various mounts, the charging cables. So over here, this is a mini USB cable for you to charge the unit with. There's also the included mounting bracket, which uses a suction cup to attach onto your windshield or onto your dashboard. There's also the user manual, a warranty card. It's pretty well documented, you can check out. There's also a full version available on the company's website, and also the car charger with the included mini USB tip if you don't want to use it when syncing it with the computer or charging it at home. And that's all the contents in the packaging. There is a version with an integrated or built-in 16 or 32 gigabytes of memory that you can also select from, but that's an added price that you have to consider. It's going to be a little bit more expensive than the base model. The design of this dashboard camera, it definitely feels relatively premium. It's made out of a metal aluminum shell, so it has a nice reassuring feel when you're holding it in your hands. With that being said, the actual lens itself definitely protrudes from the device itself, so kind of be careful if you're moving around or taking it with you. So overall, the construction quality is excellent. You have some chrome accents on the sides, and it gives it a polished and elegant look overall. The front of the unit features the loudspeaker. The top features the mounting bracket, which is proprietary. There's also the microSD card that supports up to 64 gigabytes, although you really only need a 2 or 4 gigabyte card in there because it's going to continuously loop and record your video. There's also a power on-off switch. It's pretty tactile, easy to press, and also a reset hole. On the left-hand side, there's access to the mini USB port for charging, an AV output, again for that proprietary connector. There's also a microphone for recording sound. The very bottom features all the controls. You have access to the up, down, left, and right arrow keys, an OK selection key, menu key, and mode key for going through different video recording, image, picture, and image taking modes that you can select through from the UI. And on the other side, there is a mini HDMI port. There is no HDMI cable included. On the very back, you just have access to the 3-inch LCD display. Again, this isn't a full touch display, but at the same time, it is a large display, so it's going to be pretty vibrant, easy to see. The menu UI on this particular dash cam, on the top right-hand corner, you have access to the battery indicator, so you can fully recharge the actual dash cam. It's going to take about 3 hours to fully charge. It's going to last you, I would say, about 5 to 6 hours of use before you need to recharge it again. You can simply plug it in when you're in the car and always provide juice that way. This little signal here represents the GPS fix, and after you have a GPS connection, which is going to be pretty strong, at least outdoors, you have the ability to geotag your images and also your tracks. So whenever you're driving, it's going to record that data. So if you plug it back into Google Maps, it's going to show your path on a map and exactly where you were capturing an image, recording a video, or had an accident. So it's pretty safe in that department. On the bottom, there's access to some basic information, including time, date, and there's also a monitor that tells you for how long the actual product has been turned on for. So in our case, about 3 minutes before we kind of remove the battery and recharge it or powered it off. There's also a capacity for the memory. Right now, we don't have a memory card inserted right now. In the very top left-hand corner, you have access to the mode, including the recording mode and the resolution that you can select back and forth from. The left-hand side also features the LED indicators, one for the power that will illuminate blue, and the other one will illuminate red when it's charging or being charged. So it's a pretty complimentary and easy to use system overall. Pressing on the mode key once takes you into the image capturing key where you can swap back and forth between different resolutions, between 4 megapixels all the way up to 12 megapixels if you want to do that. So it has a pretty nice sensor in that department. I can press on the mode key again. That takes me into the Playback Files where you can view your images and also your videos. And again, I can change the settings. I can change the quality of the resolution, the stamp for the different modes. I can then go back and forth between different settings and select two different things if I want to save it, changing the accelerometer, the time stamp, and the resolution, and so on and so forth. So that's basically the premise of the unit, and really all you need to use, understand to kind of get going with the product and to start using it. As far as capturing video is concerned, this has a wide-angle lens about 170 degrees, so it provides an experience that's a little bit comparable to some GoPro or action cameras in the sense that you have a slightly fish lens effect where things are slightly not as flat as they would be on a flat surface. That's because you can capture a lot within one shot as opposed to a more limited point of view, so you can definitely capture more content within one shot or one frame of your video, which is good. The color saturation of the video has a slightly bluish hinge to it. With that being said, it still is relatively good, especially if you take the images and videos out of the camera itself. You'll find that the resolution definitely increases and improves. The frame rate of the video is also fairly impressive. If you kind of move around a little bit, it still manages to keep up, and your video itself actually remains fairly smooth, so it has a good kind of stabilization software on board for that. As far as performance is concerned, the back of the unit when during operation gets a little bit hot. It starts to rise in temperature along the sides over here, but it's not anything too crippling. Now, there's a pretty important reason why you have to use this particular mount for the dashboard camera. It's because the GPS antenna is actually integrated into the mount itself. It's actually the part on the very back. And after you plug in power into the mount, it both charges the dashboard cam and also provides power for the antenna. Performance on a day-to-day basis is excellent. I would say that daylight performance is where this camera really excels at, as you would expect, especially in brighter environments. It captures a fair amount of detail. So again, if you're driving, it's going to capture your surroundings. It's going to capture any license plate. That the Kehan dashboard camera is a good option to go with if you're looking for something that performs relatively nicely and has a ton of functionality underneath the hood. It has a metal finish, which creates a very strong impression in terms of the hardware and the build quality. It has a great lens in terms of the wide-angle abilities to capture videos and images at a pretty good resolution, nearly HD. It also has a built-in rechargeable battery, which allows you to use the product even when you're not putting it into your car, and also has that GPS added functionality in addition to an accelerometer. So all in all, it's a very complete package. To check out more samples and also our full written review, be sure to read our review on our website. This has been our video. Thanks for watching. Here are OS Reviews.